What do those specific programs look like? Because obviously the goal for every community should be, okay, you do the crime, you do the time, and then you come back and be a functioning member of society. So how did you specifically do that?
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that you want to do is make sure nothing solves crime like a good job. So one thing is we have employment specialists in our reentry program who actually, their job is to actually go out, not find, well, they do placement as well, but more what they're trying to do is they're trying to go out and find first those companies that would agree to hire convicted felons and others coming out of the criminal justice system. And so we get those people on board, and then we do the placements into those businesses. And I'll tell you what's amazing. The businesses that come on and into this program and start hiring these individuals, they become our best salespeople for the program with other businesses. And so the employment is a big piece. Housing is obviously a big piece. So we have different ways that we work with affordable housing, making affordable housing available to these groups. Things like, one of the challenges that we had was when a lot of people don't realize this, but when someone gets incarcerated, if they were on SSI, assistance, federal government assistance before they got arrested, they lose that. It stops. Then when they get out, it takes 5 months to start that back up. And so what we did was we started reapplying for them, helping them to reapply before they got out. So that when they got out, we had those resources to help them with their housing. You have to help them with their medical, because if they've got, maybe they have mental health issues, for example, you want them in treatment. If you have addiction issues, we want that solved. I had one of the best in-jail drug treatment programs in the country. It's called Matrix House. Still running, 365-bed facility that was a full-scale therapeutic model community. It wasn't about punishment. It was about treatment. And I can tell you, Brittany, this is, a lot of people look at these things and they go, oh, well, that's soft on crime. No, hell no. This is not soft on crime. This is smart on crime. And that's what we want to do. We want to get the best bang for our buck out of this incarceration and help turn people's lives around. So when they go back to the community, they're successful and they're productive members of society and they're paying taxes instead of consuming them.
Do you think something like the Matrix House could be scaled to a national level?
Funny you say that. I'm working on that as we speak. Yes, I do think it can be, but the challenge is going to be you've got to have some real coordination within your local community to make that happen. And so, I built those, that was part of building those relationships and networks back home. And I was able to utilize those to get that done and build a really, really robust reentry program. And I will tell you, I tell people, if you're going to fight crime, you have to use the whole pie. I call it PIE. You have to use the pie. And that's prevention, intervention, and then enforcement. And the prevention part is, all the programs that we had in Jacksonville, set up through the Jacksonville Journey, working with the mayor's office, to get all of these programs to keep our youthful offenders out of jail and in positive things within their neighborhoods. The other was, on the intervention side, it's holding people accountable through your district attorney, or in our case, they call them state's attorney. But you've got to get serious with low-level crime. That's why when I see these jurisdictions like California, where they let people steal and do, no, that's how you lose control of a society. You're not helping anybody. You're hurting everyone. And so if you hold people accountable for the small stuff, the big stuff will take care of itself. And then on the enforcement side, we had a very aggressive program of intelligence-led policing. And so by having that whole pie, that three-legged stool together, we were able to, and we started most of that by 2007. In 2011, Brittany, we had fewer murders in Jacksonville than we had in 1971. So in 2011, we had 72 murders. In 1971, we had 74 murders. In the city, in the population numbers in 2011 were almost, not quite, but almost triple. So Jacksonville was much safer because of this smart on crime approach, as opposed to, let's just beat everybody up and make it, punish everybody and make it bad.
Many Republicans have said that Democrats are soft on crime. Are your bills getting flack from Republicans saying that this is soft on crime?
No, because they understand that. Look, I'm not asking for bills that do away with bail. I'm not asking for bills that put police officers at risk. That's what they call soft on crime. I'm not supporting any bills that reduce penalty for small crimes. No, like I just said, intervention is important. You've got to hold people accountable for the small offenses so they don't go on to commit the big offenses. And I've seen it work.
When can we see these potentially get a vote, pass? What does the next steps look like here?
I'm really kind of targeting on Law Enforcement Memorial Week next year in the spring. I think that's the best time to bring these forward because everybody's got police on their mind and public safety on their mind, and that's just a natural fit for us, I think, and so that's our target.